2023 was full of events for PlayStation Plus, and while some were amazing, no one can deny that some weren't the best. However, the service featured many incredible titles throughout the year, and today we are going to discover the top 20 games that joined PS Plus Extra and Premium this year. The first game on our list is Dishonored 2. Building upon the success of its predecessor, the game takes significant strides forward on its own. Continuing the story of Corvo and Emily, who seek to reclaim the throne after a coup, Dishonored 2 offers players the choice of controlling either character, each with unique skills that enhance replayability. It also features one of the most innovative and exhilarating levels in video game history, utilizing a time travel mechanic that astounds and inspires. Playing Dishonored 2 is a true pleasure, as it offers the ability to switch between mystical abilities, firearms, or a trusty retractable blade, providing a wide variety of engaging interactions. This game was part of the May lineup and was a great addition to the PS Plus library. Moving from stealth to open skies, strap yourself into the cockpit of some of the world's most formidable fighter planes and skim through the clouds, embarking on daring tactical dogfights. Ace Combat 7 is a wonderful combat flight simulator that is light on the simulation part of that equation. The gameplay is nuanced and fairly complex, but the controls themselves lean into arcade-style accessibility rather than realism. Throughout a reasonably lengthy campaign, players step into a range of cockpits as they head to the skies and engage in dogfights and complete bombardment missions. Although some mission types are more enjoyable than others, the campaign does try to regularly shake things up to stave off boredom. Ultimately, Skies Unknown is a niche title that will not appeal to everyone. However, it is still among the best games that joined PS Plus in 2023. This gripping crime thriller unveils the next chapter in the life of a brilliant yet troubled private detective. The sequel masterfully refines the investigative gameplay introduced in its predecessor. Within a meticulously crafted open world, players navigate bustling city streets, unraveling a web of deceit, mystery, and intrigue. The game seamlessly blends intense combat sequences with a captivating narrative, enabling players to solve complex cases and engage in exhilarating street brawls. Beyond offering a visually stunning experience, Lost Judgment stands as a testament to the studio's commitment to delivering a captivating narrative and immersive gameplay. Featured in August's lineup, it's an absolute must-play for fans of crime dramas. The next game on our list is Watch Dogs Legion, an action-adventure game set in a near-future London. The game introduces a compelling gameplay mechanic where players can recruit and play as any character they encounter in the game world. This recruitment system allows players to assemble a diverse team of operatives, each with their unique skills and backgrounds, bringing a refreshing level of diversity and strategy to the gameplay as players can choose operatives that best suit their playstyle and objectives. Legion's world is beautifully crafted, offering players an immersive and realistic open-world experience with plenty of activities, making it a great addition to PlayStation Plus. The next game is Nier Replicant, a masterfully reimagined rendition of the cult classic action RPG. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, players step into the shoes of a young protagonist, embarking on a heartfelt quest to save his sister from a mysterious disease. This revamped version breathes new life into the original game with enhanced graphics and modernized gameplay mechanics, making the journey more immersive than ever. The story unfolds with intricate character dynamics, morally complex choices, and a beautifully haunting soundtrack that amplifies the game's emotional depth. The diverse combat system, blending melee attacks with magical abilities, ensures that encounters remain engaging throughout. For both fans of the original and newcomers alike, Nier Replicant offers a mesmerizing experience that melds thought-provoking narratives with thrilling gameplay. PS Plus lost Far Cry 4 and 5 during 2023. However, the library still has several Far Cry titles. While most games in the series are wonderful open-world shooters, Far Cry 6 offers the best gunplay in the series. This release serves as a solid entry point into the franchise for newcomers, and it features great action, an intense villain portrayed by a fantastic actor, and a gorgeous Caribbean setting. Far Cry 6 introduces and expands on a few polarizing mechanics, including a ranking system and some light RPG elements. The game also has the biggest map in the series. Ultimately, most Far Cry games are great first-person shooters, and this entry is essentially a placeholder for the entire franchise. Moving from the bloody atmosphere of Far Cry to the vibrant world of Kena Bridge of Spirits, a game that immerses players in a fully realized fantasy world with absolutely gorgeous locations. The art style and special effects are undoubtedly some of the game's strongest features. That being said, the rest of the experience is far from underwhelming. In terms of gameplay, Kena shares similarities with bow-wielding games like Tomb Raider and Horizon Forbidden West, while also incorporating staff-themed melee attacks. Although the combat can be somewhat repetitive, it remains generally enjoyable and surprisingly challenging, especially during encounters with campaign bosses. In addition to battles, the game heavily relies on puzzles and exploration, both of which are well executed. For survival fans, this War of Mine Final Cut was added in September, and it was a wonderful addition to the service. Death might be around the corner in most survival games, but these titles are still generally fun. However, that adjective does not describe this War of Mine. Rather than putting players on the battlefield, this game focuses on the civilians caught in the crossfire. Whether alone or with people they need to protect, the survivors are ordinary folk who have been through hell, an experience that can bring out the best or worst in people. The base game has 12 playable characters, each with their own personalities, strengths, and weaknesses. Many FPS games were added to PS Plus during 2023, and while Destiny 2 offers a taste of the Guardian life for free, the true essence of the game shines brightest through its expansions, and the Witch Queen stands out among them all. Not just an addition, but a game in its own right, this expansion immerses players in an enigmatic Savathûm's throne world. Whether you're a veteran of Destiny's lore or a newcomer, the gripping story, paired with exceptional gunplay, ensures an unforgettable experience. So if you yearn for a fuller adventure in Destiny 2, the Witch Queen is the jewel you shouldn't miss. Embark on an epic journey in Dragon's Dogma, a fantasy adventure that immerses players in a rich and expansive world. This gripping action RPG presents an enthralling tale set against a backdrop of mythical creatures and perilous quests. Within its vast open world, players traverse diverse landscapes, encountering formidable monsters and engaging in intense battles. The game seamlessly integrates a dynamic combat system, allowing players to strategically exploit their characters' unique abilities. Beyond the thrilling combat, Dragon's Dogma captivates with its atmospheric storytelling, drawing players into a narrative woven with mystery and magic. If you're enjoying this video so far, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. Roaming a Tokyo filled with nothing but monsters from Japanese horror stories and the empty clothes of citizens who have been ghosted out of existence might sound like a terrifying prospect, but Ghostwire Tokyo makes it a thoroughly enjoyable experience. That's not to say elements of horror are missing from Ghostwire, but the title is more focused on the action of its combat than jump scares. You play as a young man who has mysteriously survived the vanishing of the rest of Tokyo's inhabitants and finds himself partnering with a paranormal entity. He then has to battle it out with various spirits and the group responsible for everything that has happened. It's a marginally chilling tale, but many of the narratives of the side quests are more emotionally gripping, and while the combat might feel a bit rote, the atmosphere of Ghostwire Tokyo is superb, and anyone interested in playing could enjoy it for that reason alone. PS Plus Extra included an impressive selection of co-op games during 2023, and It Takes Two was undoubtedly the best of the bunch. Unlike many games that offer cooperative play as an option, this release fully commits to the concept, requiring the active participation of two players. This mandatory co-op approach perfectly aligns with the game's story and mechanics, both of which revolve entirely around cooperative coordination. The narrative focuses on a soon-to-be divorced married couple who are inadvertently transformed into dolls by their grieving daughter, setting them on an astonishingly wild adventure filled with unpredictable twists and turns. It Takes Two seamlessly blends various genres and styles, drawing inspiration from 3D platformers, puzzles, and action games. For horror survival fans, we have Resident Evil 7, one of the best entries in the Resident Evil franchise. This release marks a return to the series' roots and reimagines the zombie game formula. Instead of continuing with the third-person action horror format of the previous games, Resident Evil 7 takes a more immersive first-person perspective, significantly amplifying the vulnerability of the protagonist. In this survival horror experience, each encounter becomes a life-or-death decision. Every missed shot feels like a minor catastrophe with potential consequences down the line. Every narrow escape leaves you wondering if you'll find a crucial item or ammunition in time to confront the next horrifying challenge. Set against the backdrop of a city recovering from political upheaval, players assume the role of a troubled detective grappling with amnesia, tasked with solving a complex murder mystery. This definitive edition enriches the core experience with enhanced voice acting, expanded storylines, and refined visuals, immersing players deeper into its gripping narrative. The game's intricate dialogue system and skill trees ensure that player choices shape the story's progression. With its powerful blend of existential themes and captivating investigations, Disco Elysium offers an unparalleled RPG experience that resonates deeply with both newcomers and returning fans. This upgraded version of the original Disco Elysium was added in October and is undoubtedly among the best games to join the service. There are many Devil May Cry games available on PS Plus, and personal preference will dictate someone's preferred entry in the series. But Devil May Cry 5 was undoubtedly a great addition to Sony's service. The game includes 3 playable characters who all have wildly different playstyles. Nero and Dante are both melee-focused fighters, although they are still nothing alike. Dante might have the most complete combat system in the hack-and-slash genre. The campaign barely ever has a dull moment since it is constantly switching combat systems, with each one offering a fair amount of depth. The special edition takes things to the next level by throwing Virgil into the mix, and the legendary character is a delight in battle. Coming at number 5, we have Horizon Forbidden West, which was added to PS Plus Extra in February 2023. This release tells the next chapter in Aloy's story, and Guerrilla Games largely opted to fine-tune the original game's mechanics. With a bigger open world, refined combat, and a better-paced campaign, the sequel presents a convincing argument that it surpasses its predecessor. Explore distant lands, fight bigger and more awe-inspiring machines, and encounter astonishing new tribes as you return to the far-future post-apocalyptic world of Horizon. Taking more risks than its predecessor, Doom Eternal maintains Doom's pitch-perfect gunplay while also carving its own identity by expanding the Slayer's movement options and adding abilities such as a grappling hook. These abilities work beautifully in combat, giving players more options than ever before and making combat even more intense and satisfying. Even with a fairly forgiving dodge function, Doom Eternal still packs a considerable punch, especially since ammo is reasonably limited. This is an aggressive and satisfying shooter, and in our opinion, it was the best FPS to join PS Plus in 2023. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was one of the first projects to truly come across as a next-generation experience, and the game is still among the console's standard setters. Insomniac has been on fire over the last few years, and while Spider-Man has hogged most of the spotlight, the studio regularly produces the goods whenever it returns to its other flagship IP. Rift Apart is fundamentally just another Ratchet & Clank adventure that delivers exactly what most fans have come to expect from the franchise. Along with stunning graphics, the game has fast-paced and satisfying gunplay, enjoyable platforming, lavish worlds, and charming characters, making it one of the best PS5 games added to the PlayStation Plus catalog. The full Tomb Raider Survivor trilogy was added to PS Plus Extra in May 2023. All 3 games are worth playing, and newcomers should start with Tomb Raider to get the full story. However, in our opinion, the first sequel is the best of the bunch. Rise of the Tomb Raider finds Lara Croft heading to Siberia in search of a lost city, and the frozen landscape brings with it plenty of challenges for the legendary explorer. The game balances platforming, exploration, puzzles, and combat extremely well, crafting a well-rounded package filled with memorable set pieces and characters. And finally, number 1 on our list is Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection. PS Plus Extra launched with the PS4 versions of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End and The Lost Legacy. However, in March 2023, PS5's The Legacy of Thieves Collection was added to the service. While the last generation iterations were already fantastic, the remaster package brings subtle yet impactful changes that make Legacy of Thieves Collection the definitive way to experience these 2 captivating stories. Fueled by the power of the PS5, Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy now offer multiple performance modes, allowing players to choose between prioritizing 4K resolution or a smooth 60 FPS. Additionally, the visuals have been refined, resulting in a cleaner and more immersive presentation. These improvements enhance 2 titles that were already considered masterpieces. If you've made it to this point in the video, we sincerely appreciate you being a fantastic viewer. Your thumbs up would mean a lot to us, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching.